New flavors, same great carbless perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in-store wherever carbless is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why less is more with carbless.
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from American Family Field, here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
Okay, contrary to popular belief, you cannot win them all. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Brewers Extra Innings. The winning streak is over, and the losing streak is over for the Reds. 11-7, the final today. All right, well, real quick dose of reality here, as the Brewers needed to find a way to, get some offense quickly. They got some offense, but yet Elvin Rodriguez could not dam the flood. As we'll talk about his outing today, we will talk about the highlights of Sal Frelick today. We'll also talk a little bit about the slumping hitters. Is there cause for alarm? But I'm flying solo today. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. The Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Same number all year long, so go ahead and save it in your phone. Would love to have you interact with the program tonight. Also on X at Dom_Cotroneo. Got the notifications on there as well. You can tweet in there as well. But with that being said, let's start things off like we always do this season with the highlights.
Ready for this? This?
One of the catches of the year!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
Unfortunately, we pick up this one when it's 7-0 through 4 innings in the top of the 4th inning, because it was a home run derby off of Elvin Rodriguez. He gave up 4 home runs, 7 runs total, 8 hits as well. As we pick things up in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Brewers down 7-0, and a leadoff man, Sal Frelick of the frame, really setting the tone for his night.
1-1. Lined, and a fair ball over the head of Encarnacion Strand and all the way down into the right field corner. Frelick off to the races. He's not stopping at second. On his way to third, and he's in there with a belly flop slide. A leadoff triple for Sal Frelick, and that will get the crowd engaged here at American Family Field.
He would come in on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Oliver Dunn, but you get the first one out of the way. They're on the board. It's 7-1. Then a 1-2-3 5th inning from Elvin Rodriguez. Things started to go in the right direction there. And then in the 5th inning, things got wacky for the Crew. All of this with 1 out. A walk to Bryce Terang. A single through the left side that Ellie De La Cruz misplayed. Runners on first and second. Christian Yelich coming to the plate. He manages a base hit.
0-1. Ground ball right side, through, base hit. Terang coming around third. He's going to score as Fraley's throw is cut off. Yelich an RBI single at 7-2.
So all of a sudden, the Brewers have a rally going. 2 men aboard. William Contreras would break his 0 for 20 with a soft single up the middle. That loaded the bases, and that meant the tying run would be on deck. The next batter was Sal Frelick. Run, Sal, run!
1-1. Frelick line drive, base hit right field. 1 run scores. The ball gets away in right. Yelich scores. Contreras flying around. He scores. Frelick ends up at third. A brand new ball game indeed.
Jeff Levering's call there. That made it 7-5 at the time. Tying run at the plate. Rhys Hoskins would pop out, and then Oliver Dunn would strike out to end the 5th, and that would be the end of the day for Brady Singer. In the 6th inning, a 1-2-3 frame from Connor Thomas out of the bullpen. So all of a sudden, the Brewers have retired 7 in a row. The mojo's on their side, but they go down 1-2-3 against Taylor Rogers. 3 more runs in the 7th for the Reds, thanks to a 2-run single from Ellie De La Cruz and a sacrifice fly. That makes it 10-5, but once again, the Brewers get off the deck and punch back. All thanks to William Contreras beating out a potential inning-ending double play ball in the 7th inning. It extends the frame with a man on first and 2 outs. Then a double down the right field line by Frelick. A walk by pinch hitter Jake Bowers. It brought Oliver Dunn to the plate against Tony Santillan.
First pitch to Dunn. Is hit in the air, left center, long run, diving. Nope, Dunn couldn't come up with it. Contreras is in. Frelick is in. On his way to third goes Bowers. It is a bloop double into shallow left center for Oliver Dunn. And the Brewers have played it a couple here in the bottom of the seventh. It's a 10-7 ball game.
That would be the closest they would get the rest of the night. Another run was added on by the Reds in the top of the ninth inning to make it 11-7, which was our final score this evening. Cincinnati, 11 runs on 14 hits, 1 error. They left 4. The Brewers, 7 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. They left 9. It took 2 hours and 40 minutes. The winning pitcher is Brady Singer. He is now 2-0. The loser is Elvin Rodriguez, who is 0-2. We'll take a breather, come back, actually talk about some pitching, talk about this game a little bit deeper. 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Put your first baseball weekend on the calendar when the Brewers take on the Reds Thursday, April 3rd through Sunday the 6th. Join the series opener for Hockey Theme Night, where you can grab an awesome hockey-style hooded sweatshirt with special tickets. And don't miss the first giveaway of the season, a Brewers long-sleeve hoodie for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday, April 5th. Plus, find your next favorite ballpark eats at our all-new food truck park and much more. Get your seats now at Brewers.com.
Now here's a way to bring new life to your bathrooms. And the best part about it is that it's pretty affordable too. Because remember, home improvements don't always have to be expensive. You just have to think a little outside the box. Give your dated bathroom mirrors instant designer style by having us wrap them in custom frames. Talk about an immediate upgrade. Dark wood frame mirrors can add a rich new look to your bathroom, along with a warm, cozy feel. Crisp white mirror frames will brighten and refresh your bathroom's focal point, and custom metal mirror frames will bring a touch of elegance and class. So don't settle for bare mirrors, because the variety of custom mirror frame styles we can help you choose from will go as far as your style and imagination will take it. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall 11-7 tonight. Winning streak is over, but there's another one tomorrow. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Thanks for joining us. If you're looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs, look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team right here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit it out of the park every time. For over 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. Experience the unique commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. See a couple phones lighting up, Brian and Jason. I'll get to you guys in just a moment. Let's talk a little bit about what went wrong first for Elvin Rodriguez today, giving up the 4 home runs for Elvin. The thing that jumps out first and foremost, and I tweeted this as well, it's just you can't miss in the middle of the plate in the big leagues. You simply can't. Doesn't matter how hard you throw. If you throw 100, if you throw 90, if you're going to miss in the middle, you need to have something extraordinary to go with it. And the other thing that I thought was very curious today, I wonder what he would say about this. It seemed early he had no command of his secondaries that weren't the fastball or the cutter, right? You look at the curveball, and we talk about it plenty, that he doesn't throw the slider all that often, doesn't throw the curveball all that often, but I'm looking back at his pitch log right now. Each of the first 4 curves or changeups he threw went for a ball, did not get a single swing. Then he fell into his fastball cutter combination. That's when he started to give up the home runs. Then a mound visit from Chris Hook, throws a couple more curveballs. Those fall for balls as well. So maybe there's something there that he couldn't quite get it right, and then later in the game he started to throw more curveballs, but that's when it was already 7-5 with the Reds in favor. And I tweeted the image, but again, just to paint the picture for you, there are some pink dots right down the middle for some of those cutters on those 4 home runs. And again, if you're missing in the middle, it's not going to be pretty no matter what team you're facing on the other side. And just a reminder of where things stand for Elvin Rodriguez, and we talked about this in the opening weekend against the Yankees. Quite frankly, Elvin probably wasn't projected to make this team out of spring training. If everybody's healthy and everything goes according to plan, Elvin has options remaining, and he probably starts the season in AAA Nashville. I mean, you can't imagine with everybody healthy that Chad Patrick will be in this rotation, that it'd be more of a competition if Connor Thomas would have made this roster, given he's a Rule 5 pick. And then you think about the fact that the Brewers needed length coming out of spring training. We knew Tyler Alexander was going to make the team. I don't think anybody expected Tyler Alexander to have to make starts, and that be plural, this early in the season. The same goes for Elvin Rodriguez. To go from probably going to Nashville to having to start 2 games gives you an idea of where his pecking order was on the depth chart. And quite frankly, this performance is not where his repertoire is meant to be thriving in. He is somebody that can give you length out of the bullpen, but I can't imagine a third time through against the order with him if he's just sitting fastball cutter. The locations just need to be better, and that's what happened today. And he knows that. He'll regroup. He'll find a way to get guys out. I imagine there will be a conversation that comes in the next 2 weeks if he needs to even make another start, and I'll explain that later on in the show, because as things stand right now, there's a chance you don't need him again, at least for the time being, with the health and the reinforcements that are on the way. 855-616-1620 is the phone number, 855-616-1620. Let's get to Brian out in Tosa. Brian, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Thanks for taking my call, Dom. I'm a half-empty guy, but we got back into it record-wise. That's good, but there are some glaring problems, and you're going to address them. Why not go with try Mizorowski or whatever, 1 game? Just see what he's got. I know his control is a little questionable, but why not give him 1 start and see if it's good or not? I know they're trying to bring him along maybe slowly, but Rodriguez has got to go. If he's got options, they got to get rid of him. Myers is coming back hopefully in a couple of weeks. We get Quintana on Friday. That's a help. But the elephant in the room is our big 3. What do they have? 1 home run between the 3 of them? How many home runs have we given up? I mean, it's 20-something now. We've hit 5, I believe, if I got the numbers right. And secondly, why can't we – we got 1 sacrifice fly, but Hoskins a couple times came up with a chance to drive in a run, and he gets a short fly ball. The Reds were still way ahead. They still got a sacrifice fly. I don't understand why we cannot, with less than 2 outs, get a guy in from third, get a deep enough fly ball, because the contact play isn't working this year. We've had a couple of times we've been thrown out. And then the runners in scoring position was better tonight, but we had a chance. If we had another big hit, we could have maybe pulled it out, or at least made it a little closer than it was. So, like I say, plenty of time. Fortunately, only the Cubs are ahead of us right now, so we've got time to work it out. But there's some things that definitely need to improve if we're going to stay in the hunt. Thanks for taking the call.
Absolutely. Appreciate the honesty there, Brian. On the Rhys Hoskins front, the big one that hurt was in the 5th inning when he popped out to short. That was with a man on third. That was with Frelick on third after the error by Fraley. Popping out in the infield is never a good combination. Now, granted, the Frelick on third in the 4th inning, he came in to score on Oliver Dunn's sacrifice fly, but Brian's right there. We talked about it in the contact play not working against the Royals on Wednesday. Hey, you know how we can not complain about the contact plays, get a ball out of the infield and try to hit a sacrifice fly. On the home run note, the Brewers are not built to hit a ton of home runs. At the same time, they're going to need some kind of production out of Yelly and Contreras, and that's coming. I do believe that. There is certainly a moment of pause of like, man, we'd like to see this, hit the ground running sort of thing, with Yelly coming off the back surgery and Contreras having a career year a year ago, being the starting catcher. It's still, 9 games into the season, a 10-game stretch, right? You can block it up into 16 10-game stretches. And if you can outnumber, let's say if you can get 10 out of those 16 10-game stretches as a really good stretch, that's a hell of a season. So this first 9-game stretch for William Contreras hasn't been pretty. And quite frankly, he's probably getting the day off tomorrow. Chad Patrick's taking the mound. He worked with Eric Haas on Tuesday night. I imagine that's going to be Haas tomorrow. Give William the double day off. Give the off day tomorrow, or give him an off day tomorrow, and then the team has an off day on Monday. So they give him a chance to hit the reset button, get right. Maybe even Yelly gets the day off tomorrow, too, even though they're facing a right-handed pitcher. But on the home run front, the Brewers are probably going to get outnumbered in home runs just by sheer lack of home runs that they hit this season, because they're built on guys like Sal Frelick who are going to be spraying it all over the diamond. But home runs are still cool. I'll never turn down home runs, to say the least. And then we'll talk about Elvin a little bit later. But, yeah, I do think this was probably his last start, just because there are reinforcements on the way as of now. And I'll talk about Jacob Misiorowski. Reminder about Misiorowski, he's not on the 40-man roster yet. So there would need to be a corresponding move. This team always likes to keep roster flexibility because you never know how much depth you have until it's tested like it is right now. If there was another audition to be coming from the minor leagues, I imagine Logan Henderson's ahead of that, unless Misiorowski proves himself. Now, also, Misiorowski pitched tonight out of relief for the Nashville Sounds. They do these tandem starts down in AAA for the Brewers. They won tonight 10-2. Today, Misiorowski went 3 2/3, 4 strikeouts, no hits, but once again, 4 walks and a wild pitch. That's what we're talking about with Jacob Misiorowski. He's not going to get a look until that walk column calms down, because if he's walking 4 in AAA, that's going to be like 5 or 6 in the big leagues, because big league hitters know how to spit on those pitches away, and they can damage pitches down the middle like we saw tonight from Elvin. Let's get to one last caller here. Jason in Gurney. Jason, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm actually just doing the drive of shame back to Fibland here after watching the game. Just a couple things. I don't mean to grieve too much about Elvin Rodriguez here, but the guy has bounced around, right, to a couple different teams. I think he played for Japan last year. Just really frustrating, seeing us let go of guys like Colin Ray, who's going to eventually be pitching against us with the Cubs. Seeing Wade Miley gone. I know hindsight being 20/20 here, but those guys really would be helping us out right now. Really lacking starting pitcher towards, our 4th and 5th starters. So I'd just like your thoughts here on what you think about letting those guys go. Again, I don't want to grieve too much on ownership here. I think they've done a tremendous job over the course of the last 7 years. But, I just want your opinion on letting those guys go.
Well, I appreciate the call there, Jason. Thanks for ringing in here and making the drive up from Gurney. But the thought for Wade Miley, let's start there. Wade wouldn't even be pitching yet. Think about that. Wade's still recovering from Tommy John surgery, and he admittedly is doing it quicker. I had a chance to catch up with Wade yesterday, actually, outside the Reds dugout. He's in great spirits. There's no hard feelings at all from one side over the other why he didn't come back to Milwaukee. I mean, he knew. The fact is, there were guys ahead of him on the list, in Milwaukee's pitching depth chart, and knowing that there's no guarantee if there's going to be a spot for him when he is finally healthy, hopefully here in the month of May if things go according to plan for him. But then on the other side, the Reds, they straight up told him, hey, there's some depth need here for you. We probably are going to have a spot for you in the big leagues if you are interested when you are healthy. And you kind of go where one side wants you a little bit more. I'm not saying the Brewers didn't want him, but the way it worked out was Wade wouldn't have thrown a pitch yet for the Brewers at this point. He would not be in this picture to help out the crew in the immediate sense. On the Colin Ray front, the Brewers felt that, hey, they've got young guys on their way that they're very excited about. Guys like Chad Patrick, who gets the ball tomorrow, maybe making sure they have room for somebody like Logan Henderson when he comes up at some point this season. Also having room to make another move. They get Tyler Alexander not as a starter, but as that Colin Ray role, and they see him. Elvin Rodriguez can serve in that more tighter version of that role, but having a multitude of guys, right? Colin Ray and Bryce Wilson serving that unsexy role of you're a spot starter. Granted, Ray made 27 starts a year ago and threw 167 innings. I mean, he was a qualified pitcher for the Brewers, but the Brewers felt in-house they had more available than what they had with Colin Ray, decided to decline that team option and wanted to give the kids a chance. And that's where that stands right now. And with the starting rotation being as depleted as it is, not being able to have, Savali only makes one start and he's now on the injured list, right? Tobias Myers getting injured, and then also having Brandon Woodruff not quite 100% yet. The gamble of giving Woodruff that 2-year deal was hoping he would be ready for opening day. He isn't, clearly, but he's going to be back in May. So all of these puzzle pieces need to fit come the middle of the summer. And right now, you're missing a few pieces. They're underneath the seat cushions. They're underneath the table. Maybe the dog got a handle of one of these puzzle pieces. But when you get all these puzzle pieces together, that's when it's finally going to look complete. And that's what the Brewers, they have a blank puzzle piece that they draw little colors on, and that's what it's on right now. They're plugging and playing and trying to see what works until they find the actual piece that they want. If I can make that analogy make sense. Appreciate the calls, 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620. You can text, you can call. I'll get to some of these texts coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
The most common reason pain sufferers come to us is to be able to perform their daily tasks without suffering through them. Grandparents who want to be able to take their grandkids on walks and to the park. Or those that just want to be able to get out of their vehicle with more ease than pain. Rejuvenex pain treatments can help, and the sooner you get to calming down that pain, the better it will be. These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, which could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Outdoor Living Unlimited continues to build amazing backyard spaces. Imagine grilling on your new deck or entertaining friends on your outdoor kitchen. Adding a screen room is another way to enhance your space. Outdoor Living Unlimited provides ideas, custom designs, and installation of some of the area's finest projects. Stop by our showroom on Saturday, April 26th from 9 to 1 p.m. for our open house. See why Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team, and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall 11-7, but it's still a chance to win the series tomorrow. Sal Frelick had himself a night, his second career 4-hit game. Not much else from the offense tonight. 3 RBI night for Oliver Dunn. Yelly had an RBI single, reached base as well with a walk. But the offense was part of the issue today. Also a big run-scoring opportunity that I didn't mention there from our callers earlier. In the second inning, when the Brewers formed a 2-out rally out of nowhere, the single by Dunn, the single by Mitchell, the single by Ortiz to have the bases loaded and to rang up, he ultimately struck out against Brady Singer, but maybe a knock there changes the complexion of the game because at that point, the Brewers had a chance to avoid the shutdown inning. It was 4-0. And then struck out, then eventually fell behind 7-0 and fall tonight. A couple of these texts that have come in here to address the question here from Joseph in Sioux Falls about the guys who pitched tonight. Well, Elvin Rodriguez, like we just explained, with the injuries to this staff, Elvin had to pitch today. And then when you're down 7-0, you're not exactly going to go throw Trevor McGill in. And Connor Thomas is a guy on a Rule 5 pick that he hasn't pitched since last Saturday. He's been kind of in the cooler. And a reminder with Rule 5 picks, it's more of a flyer, right? The Brewers are taking a gamble on Connor Thomas being able to help them throw some innings. And if the worst-case scenario, they find out, you know what, maybe he's not going to be a fit for us, and you return him to the St. Louis Cardinals, or he goes through waivers and another team wants to select them off the waivers, well, that opens up a 40-man roster spot. And potentially, we're talking about a corresponding move that could come with that. But still, Connor Thomas deserves a chance to pitch maybe at least once in a medium leverage situation, right? He's now come in twice in mop-up duty, and that's really hard to make a name for yourself. He hasn't had that chance to be a situational lefty yet for the Brewers, to come in and maybe get Elly De La Cruz out, but now he's going to be down for the next couple of days because he's threw 62 pitches tonight. Another question here coming from Mark in West Bend with Elvin Rodriguez struggling today. Don't waste your time. Don't think we need the guy that you say, Mark. I do want to give you a round of applause here as I clap here. It only took us 9 games, I should say, for our first Trevor Bauer text of the season. And, Mark, if this is your first time listening, welcome to the program. Appreciate you being here. We don't talk about that guy here. That is long gone. That ship has sailed for everybody in Major League Baseball. There are 29 other teams that don't want him either. Let's this be the only time we say that man's name all season long, because there is no chance that is going to happen here. This text from Doug in Sheboygan. This was due to happen. The Reds were ready to break out. Seen enough of Rodriguez, but hey, maybe he'll find a new role as a bullpen guy. Maybe there's a chance for him to be depth and work on some things. Frelick is showing more that he is more than just defense. That's a good call there as well. This text thought a key opportunity was the missed opportunity when Sal did the bases clearing hit on third. Down 7-5 in the Reese pop-up. We did talk about that with Reese struggling here. I talked to Reese today in the clubhouse before the game, and I'm like, he just came up to me. He's like, oh, you got a look about you. What do you got? When I want to ask him about hitting, I say, well, I thought last night you had some of your best swings of the season. He says, you know what? I know it may not look like it in the stat line. I feel so close, and that's what everybody says, right? You're either due, right, or you're hot. And right now, he's in that due right now. He's due. So I understand the frustration of seeing 2 pop-ups and not situationally getting the job done. The ball strike is still there. Sometimes you squeeze the bat a little bit tighter. And Reese said it in his own words, the first one's the hardest to get. And he's right. The first one is hardest to get for a few of these guys, trying to see this offense get on track. And a common refrain from all of this, and let's get to this with Garrett Mitchell. What does Garrett Mitchell got to do to play the whole game? And I'm putting my hand up, and we don't talk to Pat Murphy on Sundays, and then they're also about to go on a road trip here. But, there's the platoon, and there's the belief of left on left. What do you try to do? But I thought tonight's situation, pulling Garrett Mitchell when they did, right? They pulled Garrett Mitchell when a lefty comes on the mound, and at that time, this is in the bottom of the 6th inning, it's still a 7-5 ball game, and one of their only leverage lefties, Taylor Rogers, comes in for the 6th inning. They also have Brent Suter, of course, but you have to figure Suter on a back-to-back, maybe, and he'd only be facing Suter and facing Mitchell later in the game. But to pull Garrett Mitchell in a 2-run game to lead off an inning, I found puzzling, and we will seek out answers tomorrow, because the worst case scenario, he can drop a bunt. He can maybe work a walk. Something else can happen. The only way that you get better against lefties is you face lefties. And he can sit and hit as many times as he wants against tough lefties in the traject machines, the batting cage that the Brewers have that project a pitcher. You can have all the characteristics of the pitch that you want to see. He can hit 1,000 balls in there against elite left-handed pitchers. It's still not going to replicate what it's like to be in the box. So what needs to change for him to get in there is a good question to be asked. I also remind folks, it's April. Last year, the leash for Joey Ortiz was extremely short because the Brewers didn't know what they had. I imagine when Garrett Mitchell gets his opportunity to continue to play entire games against lefties, he's still making starts against left-handed pitchers, that are starting the game. I'm just confused. What are the profiles? What are the characteristics of certain relievers that are coming in that get Garrett Mitchell out of the game? Because I am still a little perplexed by that. And, Sal Frelick continues to be bad on ball, and he has a great day. He gets opportunities against lefties. Granted, he didn't see a single lefty tonight, but he's played entire games all season long. I wonder what it'll take for Garrett Mitchell. And none of this is a slight to Isaac Collins. I think Isaac Collins is going to be a little more important piece than we realize, especially in interim while Blake Perkins continues to rehab from his fractured shin. The Brewers did get imaging done. They are awaiting the final approval for him to face live ABs once again, so that's good news for Blake Perkins to come back. Another switch hitter, better from the right side, can help out this lineup, but that also creates less playing time for Garrett Mitchell. So all of this is to be figured out, but Garrett has got a couple of hits the last few games. I'm confused just like you are, but we will get to the bottom of it. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. A little bit later on, we'll hear from Pat Murphy in his post-game press conference. The Brewers, hey, 1 game under 500. It's no big deal. 9 games in. No reason to hit the panic alarm. Tonight wasn't fun. but the offense showed signs of life. Let's try to go beyond the box score and also find a couple positives coming up in the next segment here on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
I'm Jim Token, representing the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. There are so many reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle at one of the 115 Adam member dealers. Adam dealers employ more than 6,500 people in southeastern Wisconsin, which supports thousands of local families. Adam also contributes to many local charities. For example, Adam recently completed their Change Your Oil, Change Lives promotion, benefiting Feeding America of Eastern Wisconsin. Over the past 15 years, they've raised over $953,000, which provided more than 3.8 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. These are just a few reasons to service your car or truck and buy your next vehicle from an Adam member dealer instead of a national online company with no ties to our community. To find an Adam member dealer, visit adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory's arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Let's take a little deeper look at the box score. Before we do that, I want to thank our friends at Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. You know, it is going to get warmer, I promise. You got to make sure that you are ready for the warmer weather, as it is right around the corner here for the crew. And also, the roof will be open. It'll be good times here at the ballpark. And all that means, you got to make sure your AC is ready. Are you ready for your air conditioning to be fired back up later this summer? Right now, it's Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. You can get $25 off an AC tune-up. But hurry, this deal is only good through the end of April. Visit cider.com to schedule your appointment today. That's SEIDER.com. The most obvious positive from today's game is Sal Frelick's performance tonight. Sal, 4 for 5, a double and a triple. Also, the error that was a fake triple to get him to third base, and a run scored, 2 runs scored, also a run batted in. We talked about it on yesterday's show with Augie about how Pat Murphy calls the 5th spot for Sal Frelick the second leadoff, because statistically, nobody leads off an inning more than the 5th batter that isn't batting first. And Sal has rewarded his manager in a strong way. He's 13 for 33 on the season. He's got 4 walks, only 6 strikeouts. He's also stolen a pair of bases. He's not going to flirt with 400 all year, no duh. But if we're talking that Sal Frelick is able to improve on a year where, let me do a little pop quiz for you real quick. Just, I want you to think about this with me for a second. Off the top of your head, and if you've been listening to me for a while, you know the answer to this. Off the top of your head, just gut reaction, what do you think is the major league average for batting average? I'm not talking in 1982. I'm talking the 2024, last season, Major League Baseball average batting average. Take a second, think about it. Okay, 243. Okay, it's one of the lowest it has ever been. 243. Now let me follow up with that with another note. How many qualified hitters, okay, meaning X number of plate appearances, you got to play in enough games, there's a multiplication and everything. How many qualified hitters a season ago do you think hit 300? Just, again, think about it. How many qualified hitters? In total, I'll give you that number at least. 130 qualified hitters in baseball last season. How many of them hit 300? Time's up. 7. 7 hitters hit 300. That's qualified. So if you had 90 games, you're not a qualified hitter, and that's a different conversation. The reason I'm bringing this up is if Sal Frelick, who turned in a 269 batting average last season, on top of, oh, by the way, league average on base percentage is 312. Last year's on base was 320. So both of those numbers being above league average as a sophomore in big leagues, right? If he continues to take a step forward, and maybe by the end of the season we're talking about him flirting with 300, maybe a 290 hitter, he's not here to slug. He's here to get on base and to get hits. These are good signs for Sal Frelick so far in the year. And we've talked about it plenty about the weight gain and all that stuff and what is he trying to do out of the weight gain. It's not like he's trying to hit the ball harder. I mean, it's certainly helpful to put muscle on. But he told me the whole goal of him putting on the weight is to make sure that it stays on throughout the season. At the end of the year last year, he was in the 160s, which in the big leagues, that's pretty frail. You're not going to be able to put anything behind the baseball at the end of the year. He's officially listed at 5'8", 188, and I promise you that seems like a legitimate number, 188, just seeing him in person. The exit velocity is virtually the same, but I'm intrigued to see if that max EV goes up. Right now it's at 103 for his hardest hit ball of the season. But another guy that's been hitting the ball hard, and I know tonight he had a quiet night. Turang, 1 for 4, 3 strikeouts, a walk, and a single and a stolen base. Bryce Turang. I talked about it in Brewers warm-up today, but Turang has added a little bit of bat speed, 3 miles an hour of bat speed, which suggests it's about 6 to 8 feet of carry if you catch the ball properly with 3 more miles an hour of bat speed, which means that's 24 feet, potentially as much of 24 feet to add the ball in distance, and that's why we're seeing some harder contacts. Already 110-mile-an-hour contact so far from Bryce Turang. I'm super excited about that. I've made my stake known that I think this dude's got a shot to maybe, if you're thinking about one of these young extensions we've seen go across baseball lately with Jackson Merrill and Christian Campbell and so many others, I think Bryce Turang will be a great candidate to try to sign an extension to, given he is showing he's improving leaps and bounds every year in what he's capable of doing. But beyond that, Yelly right now with a single through the right side. Tonight, he went back to a modified leg kick. I wouldn't call it the full 2018 leg kick where he practically bends his right knee into his left leg, but there definitely is a little bit of a pause trying to lift. Earlier in the season, he was using the toe tap. He used the toe tap all game on Friday. Tonight was the first game that I saw him actually use a leg kick, and that's something we'll talk about with him tomorrow on Brewers warm-up. By the way, our coverage begins at noon for Brewers warm-up for a 1:10 first pitch. Chad Patrick getting the ball against Carson Spires, the nephew of former Brewer Bill Spires. That's our quick little beyond the box score moment. In a moment, we will hear from Pat Murphy, and we'll also take a look around the big league scoreboard. Taking a little breather. Back after this on 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So it's about time you spruced up your home. Nothing major. You're not looking to spend a ton, but you are looking for something that'll give your quarters a little upgrade. You know, there are a lot of things you can do with glass. Simply beveling your mirrors can do wonders. You can mill out your wood cabinet doors and replace the center with attractive glass inserts, or customize them with unique handcrafted artistry, or maybe a theme. You could even install a new glass shower door and add some real appeal to your bathroom. They're all pretty affordable home improvements, and Les's Glass Service has been helping homeowners like you for just about longer than anyone in town. You probably don't realize how affordably we can help you reach your home's full potential, but we do, and we can show you countless options. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
Looking back at that box score in AAA Nashville tonight, I also buried the lead on one other performance we got to point out. Caleb Durbin hit his second homer of the year. He's now 8 for 30 so far in AAA Nashville. That's a .267 average. But only 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. He's putting the ball in play, so we'll continue to monitor his development down in AAA Nashville for the Brewers. 82 games in AAA a season ago in the International League with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Now he's with the Sounds, and let's see if he makes it back up to be, it'll be his MLB debut when he does arrive for the Brewers. Another quick note on the injury front, the way things are looking right now, and the reason why I hinted earlier that this is probably the last time you would need Elvin Rodriguez, is the fact that you look at tomorrow, Chad Patrick. Let's just map out this rotation now for the Crew. Chad Patrick would go tomorrow. Monday is an off day. Freddie Peralta goes on Tuesday in Colorado. Nestor Cortez on Wednesday. And then if things go as they've been going, it would be Tyler Alexander on Thursday in Colorado against the Rockies. Then next Friday's the day that Jose Quintana is eligible to come off the minor league roster from his option. He still has to spend the minimum 15 days down. He would be able to come up and make the start on the 11th, which would mean Chad Patrick would start on the 12th. And then you start things back over with Freddie Peralta on Sunday against the Diamondbacks. Okay, that's an option. You also remember Nestor Cortez has a baby on the way. Don't know the timing of when that's going to be when his son is born, but that could be a spot start if it falls on the wrong day. Keep that in mind. And also Nick Mears is eligible to come off the IL on Tuesday. I had that date wrong for a while. He's eligible to come off on Tuesday from his illness. He threw a back-to-back yesterday and tonight. He's good to go. He will be back on Tuesday, ironically, at Coors Field against the Rockies. So you look at this rotation, that is good news. Furthermore, Tobias Myers is getting ready to head to AAA Nashville to start his rehab assignment. Probably going to need 3 starts, according to the Brewers, to get him built back up and ready to go. Brandon Woodruff is going to need more than that. Did see Aaron Savali pitch off of a mound today. Don't know if that means he'll even need a rehab assignment. Maybe he spends the minimum on the injured list, and then all of a sudden you're closer to full strength than you realize by the end of the month when Tobias Myers comes back, assuming he starts on Tuesday in Nashville. So you go Tuesday and Sunday, then probably one more, or maybe he goes Thursday and the following Wednesday, whatever it may be. You're looking at potentially the Cardinals series or the White Sox series for Tobias Myers to return to this rotation, which is also very good news. And the sooner you get Quintana and Savali and Myers back, the ease of the pressure is on Chad Patrick, Elvin Rodriguez, Tyler Alexander. You get what I'm trying to say here. So there are reinforcements coming. Be sick of my optimism. I will always be optimistic with the way things go. This text is a good question. What did you think of the booing tonight? Fans pay their money to speak their mind. They weren't fun. They weren't having fun when it was 7-0. I think a lot of other fan bases would have booed a lot sooner than that. I get it why some folks are so irked about booing your own players. And I agree. I don't understand it. Does booing make you play better? Some guys, they say yes. Some guys, they say no. Fans made their voice heard, and that's the whole point. That's why this show exists, for people to text in and to call in and to ask their thoughts and opinions. We're a sounding board. We're all working on this together. That's a sign of a healthy fan base, asking questions, and the fact that asking about a player getting booed is a story. And we'll talk about it. It's no big deal. All right, we'll take another break. Pat Murphy coming up next, his full press conference after this on WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics, chronic joint pain. You know what living with chronic joint pain is like? It's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa. Nothing feels good, right? So forget trying to do the things you enjoy like golfing or hiking or tennis. You're just trying to get by. But there is something you can do. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Milwaukee are on the case and focus on getting you the relief you need. They've already treated tens of thousands of patients around the country with regenerative treatments that can help calm the debilitating joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or your back. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. If you're curious if you'd be a candidate, the consultation is totally free, and they do have appointments on Saturdays. So here's the number. Call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers fall 11-7. Pat Murphy had thoughts on it, and you're going to hear them right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ. Here's Pat Murphy's press conference with the folks after tonight's loss.
Did you like what you saw from the offense, just kind of continually going after it?
I mean, I like what I saw from the team's mindset in terms of we didn't quit, we battled. We got some guys not swinging the bat the way they want to, we know that. But a lot of other guys stepped up, and wasn't a particularly great offensive night in terms of just full force, but we had a bunch of guys scrap and do whatever they could. So pleased with their willingness. Now we just have to be a little more precise and get a couple guys on track. And but credit goes to the Reds. They smashed the ball.
Yelly had that RBI, obviously, but he's probably one of the guys you're referring to. It's not swinging it great. William has gotten off to a slow start. Is over a weekend now. I understand it's still a small sample size. But what are you seeing from those guys? Their at bats, and do you think that
Well, they're not getting results. They're having good at bats. This is Major League Baseball. In how many games have we played?
9.
Okay, so how many at bats is that?
30.
30.
Yeah.
So the difference between 300 and 188 isn't very many hits. You know what I mean? And if you get Yelly's probably had 4 hard contacts caught going back to New York. You get that out of the way, and now it doesn't look like that. And same with Contreras. Now are they swinging the bat as good as they can? No, but everybody has that as part of their season. Aaron Judge has that part of his season. So you don't start looking at it like, oh, what do you do? What do you? Well, there's nothing to do. They know how to get themselves out of it, and you try to give them a little guide and a little help, and try to come to understanding as here's a small adjustment. That's what happens.
What are you seeing with the way Sal has swung the bat tonight, obviously, but then just throughout the start of the season?
Yeah, that's who Sal is. You know what I mean? He's going to get these type of results from time to time, but he's a scrapper, man. That's what he does. And nothing's pure about it. It's like a hockey player playing, you know what I mean? He just has a way to compete that's at the highest level.
Oliver Dunn saw his first couple of hits drop in today. Also made a nice play over there at third. What have you liked?
The kid's got a great potential, and he needs confidence. And a day like today gives you some confidence. You know, it's the second, high-end play he made. There's not too many guys around the league that make that play. So really pleased with what he's done, the work he's put in over there defensively, and to get a couple big hits today and a big sac fly. Yeah, that goes a long way for his confidence.
For Elvin tonight, was it location, sequencing, mix of both?
Yeah. Had a lot of hard contacts, and he didn't hit his spots. And
Murph, Connor Thomas too. He hadn't pitched since last week in New York. Another kind of a struggle for him today as well. Did you see him make any kind of progress from his first start to today? Or
yeah, I mean he didn't start, but I felt like his first time out was kind of similar. He'd make some good pitches and then make a mistake. And today I thought he got through an inning fine. It was really encouraging. And then the situation got a little tighter. Walked the leadoff hitter. That's discouraging. And then give up a ground ball hit. Now all of a sudden one falls in and space is loaded, no outs. It's a tough deal, So he's learning as he goes. And again, with the injuries we have, you're going to give some guys some opportunities, and I believe they're going to learn from it and get better. But it's tough to operate right now, especially in a big divisional game against a team that we're going to see a lot of this year. It's tough to play from behind 7-1, but we did, and we scrapped back, and proud of it.
Is a positive, Mark, just that with the length that Connor gave you were able to get by with just two relievers?
Yeah, I mean, that was key that Connor and Elvin gave us basically 8+. We don't like 11 runs and 14 hits, but nonetheless, they kept us fresh for tomorrow.
And that's key because you're going into an off day, and not only that, you're going into an off day, and then you're going into the Coors Field. So you're going to need relievers. You're going to need to be fresh. Let's take our last break of the show and come back with our thoughts for tomorrow's game and a chance to win a series. You've already got a winning homestand, so might as well win both series. Back after this on WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
Brewers baseball is here. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Don't miss any of the big games or the superstars. And come back for the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's every game all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Pain can make you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Or it can make you try any and everything. And most times that'll make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. It's hard to believe that there's a solution to your pain problem that works, is safe, and is actually affordable. But that's why most insurance plans pay for pain treatments from Rejuvenex, because they're FDA approved and they do work. Toradol and hyaluronic acid work together to substantially alleviate your pain. And we've seen patients experience pain relief for greater than 2 years after completing a series of treatments. Is it a one and done? No. But at as low as $65 per joint, it's an affordable alternative to surgery. And it's not an expensive cross your fingers and hope it works experiment. Especially for older pain sufferers, the pain treatment that Rejuvenex offers is worth trying, because the vast majority of patients who do live better lives in a lot less pain.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Welcome back. Final segment as we get ready to say goodbye. A 1:10 first pitch tomorrow. We're on the air at noon. I've got another Brewers warm-up for you. You never know who's going to stop by on Brewers warm-up. Yeah, today I was photobombed by Lane Grindle and Jeff Levering, since they're now familiar with the fact that we live stream these too. So you can watch them on YouTube. You can watch them on X. You can listen live like you are now on your radio, online, whatever it may be. We've got it all over the place. And remember to tell your friends, Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcasts. You can hear these in full, commercial-free, the next day. It's that simple. And that's going to be pretty clutch for you, that it's going to arrive in your inbox overnight this week when the Brewers have all these late-night games out west, right? So, it's 7:40 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a 2:10 game on Thursday. We can handle that. And then on Friday, Arizona, 8:40, and then 7:10 on Saturday. So not going to be too late, but don't worry. If you don't want to stay up late with us, we'll have it in podcast form for you. Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcast. So appreciate all that. Tomorrow, Carson Spires getting the ball for the Cincinnati Reds. We already mentioned it. The nephew of Bill Spires, a longtime baseball family, all over the place. A lot of Clemson there, a lot of South Carolina representation. Not the school, Clemson, just from South Carolina. And everything out there. Spires, fastball, cutter, sinker, also a big sweeper kind of guy, but the changeup's his moneymaker. The changeup's been the pitch that has got him to the big leagues. But last year, he really struggled with that pitch. See what he can do with it today. He's already got 3 strikeouts in his first start on it, his first go-around against the Giants. So Spires, he made 22 games last year. 10 of them were starts, 90 innings. Now he's a full-time starter this year. 6 innings, just 2 earned runs in his first start of the season. As for the Brewers, it'll be Chad Patrick, healthy, good to go. Remember, Josh Mauer caught up with him earlier this week talking about his illness that he was battling even while making his first MLB start. Chad Patrick and his cutter changeup combination get the ball tomorrow. Again, a 1:10 first pitch. Then an off day on Monday, then out west to the Colorado Rockies. Brewers, I imagine, we'll give William Contreras the day off. I imagine we'll see Eric Haas behind the plate again. He had homered on Tuesday in the first win of the season. And tomorrow, a chance for the Brewers to have a winning homestand. They already have a winning homestand, but winning both series. Splits are fine, but you'd rather win the series, of course. And to be 5-2 on your first homestand of the year after that 0-3 butt-kicking against the Yankees last weekend, that'll make dinner taste a little bit better on the plane on Sunday. So let's look forward to it. Hopefully a happy flight and a happy off day. We'll be talking to you tomorrow at noon with Brewers warm-up and after the game as well for Brewers Extra Innings. For our producer, Evan Witalison, I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Until next time, keep on swinging.
Hi, I'm Rose Gray with Fox World Travel, and I'm excited